Hi, I'm Ellen Violette, and today I'm interviewing Jerry Chambers. Jerry is a former employee who worked in the oil and gas industry for 15 years. And when she got laid off, instead of going back into the workforce, she decided to start her own business from scratch while taking care of her four children, all under the age of 13. She started with a cooking blog and thought that she would monetize that, but as a lifetime learner, she kept looking, gathering information and connections, and that led her to write her first ebook, Bossy, 8 Steps to Take You from Paycheck to Prosperity with a Home-Based Business, in my 3 Days to eBook Cash workshop, and the rest is history. So Jerry, welcome.
Hey, thank you. Thanks, Ellen.
I am so excited about your new book. So why don't we start by talking about what inspired you to write it?
Okay. I really wanted to get the information that I had learned out there. And it seemed, the more I learned and the more I learned from you, that writing a book would be one of the best ways to do that. So, and all the research that I had done and all of the training and the videos I had watched and just all of the information I gathered over the months, I wanted to share that. I already had a lot of it in my head, but then I wanted to make that into a product that could reach a lot of people, so that women especially could do what I do. It's possible, and I wanted women to know that they can be in a position to start their own business, even though they are working in the workforce. So
What do you think really gave you the courage to do it, though, to take that step?
Well, at first I wasn't. At first I wasn't confident. So it took a little while to realize that maybe I did have something to share. So in the beginning it was kind of a confidence issue, and I thought, who's going to want to really know this? But the more I started writing, the more I found out that I did have a lot of information that I wanted to get on paper. So it took kind of starting it, and then from there, it kind of took off like fire, and I just knocked it out in a weekend, literally. So
Great. So how did the name come about?
Well, it's funny because with your help, I went through a lot of names, and they just didn't have any pizzazz, any spark, any attitude. And I believe that if women are going to start their own business and have the confidence to do that, it encompasses kind of a sassiness, a confidence that goes beyond just yourself. You really need to know that you can do this. So after going through a lot of names that did not have any real feeling to it, real emotion to it, it really didn't fit me. And then that word bossy came up. And
right, I actually saw it. I actually saw it on a TV show.
Yes, yeah. It was so funny because not only that, because remember when you told me that word, I actually had already seen something, and it was kind of a confirmation. When you said bossy for the book, at first it didn't hit me, and then I think it was that next day I saw a post or something with bossy on it, and I thought, that's exactly what I'm going to do. It is bossy. Bossy, that's me.
Synchronicity. Synchronicity.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Very cool. Yeah, because it was a double meaning, a double entendre. It's like be your own boss, and it's okay to be bossy. I think one of the things that I kept seeing on Facebook was that whole thing about young girls and seeing that the idea that bossy was bad and turning it around to bossy being really a good thing.
Right. I absolutely agree. You don't have to be overbearing, and you don't have to be, a witch about it, but definitely being bossy and assertive. I guess assertive is kind of the word I think of. Bossy.
Right. So why don't you tell us about the book?
Well, I kind of broke it down into different chapters, different steps that I guess I would expect someone to go through, and kind of what I went through before they ultimately get their business ready and then grow their business. So, I believe that a lot of your confidence level and the ability to take the first step, even if you are a little timid at first or apprehensive about it, it starts in your mind. You can really keep yourself down. You can also buy into a lot of your own excuses, and I felt like that was the first thing to tackle first. So I did talk about that, and then I also talk about dreaming big. You know, you need to make sure that your dream is going to be something that's going to spur you on when you have a bad day, for instance, or some things happen in your life that set you back. That big dream needs to keep you going. So I did talk about that. And then throughout our life, we run into people that influence us, some for the negative and some for positive. And it's kind of actually a workbook. There's not a lot of assignments in it, so to speak, but it causes you to think. And as I'm explaining these things, you need to reach into your own heart, your own mind, and your past, and your desire for your better future, and kind of pave your own way. So it's kind of a story about me, and it has a little bit of inspiration in it, but as well as makes you get some things on paper for yourself and decide what do you want. You know, if you are serious about becoming your own boss, it's not as simple as that. There's a lot of things that go into that. So I kind of take you on that path that ultimately leads to what do you want to do? You know, what business do you want? And how are you going to deliver your product or service? You know, it gets down to that. And then ultimately to grow your business. I touch a little bit about that. So it kind of goes through the whole path.
So what do you think makes this different from other books?
Well, because I've been through what I've been through, and I am, you know, a single mom with 4 children, and a little baby, not to mention, you know, I have kind of been there, done that. I have been through a lot of different stages of life. One of those is kind of buying into, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I'm going to work for someone, and I really can't have anything else because I'm stuck here. I guess I have a more tough love approach than a lot of people. A lot of people maybe just throw the information out there. But I know that if you are going to get anywhere, you have to get past your comfort zone. Right. And I hope I challenge people to do that. You know, if you read that book, it's going to kind of challenge you that you're not supposed to stay where you are. If you want more for yourself, you have to get it. And again, it kind of starts in your mind. It kind of starts with your belief system.
That is so important. That is so, so important. You know, the way that I was brought up was not like that at all. And it was a really hard lesson for me because everything was given to me. And I think a lot of women, too, that, you know, especially if they get married, their husbands take care of them, and then all of a sudden they find themselves alone. You know, what do you do? You know.
It does happen, and you either sink or swim.
Exactly. So how did you figure out that you wanted to help others?
Well, I actually, for the first half of my life, probably, my 42 years, I have probably been very selfish. Well, okay, I have been very selfish. And it really wasn't until recently that I really got very unfocused on myself. I guess I came to a point where I kind of had my ducks in a row, and I didn't have to fret about my life and where things were coming from and woe is me and all that kind of thing. So like I said, I have been through that, and I know that it stunts you. So on the other side of that, on the healthier side of that, I do believe now that I can reach out to others, and I can sow into people's lives. Again, that's something that God put in me. That's something the Lord put in me. That is not something that I conjured up myself. I was saved in 1999, and I think God gave me a new heart, which He does. And I just believe that from there on, I became people-focused, and my passion is people. I love relationships. I love people. I love reaching out. I love when people come to me with questions and need for advice and things like that. I just love sharing wisdom and information and knowledge with people. And I also love to see people come from where they were to a place of somewhere better. I just love seeing transformation.
That's really great. So why did you decide to work with women only at this point?
Well, I feel like I can really relate to women better than I can men. Now, I've been in a male-dominated industry. I was in the oil and gas. It was male-dominated. Not so much now. but definitely the people I worked with were definitely men.
Hmm.
So I guess I wanted to have a softer approach. Again, it's kind of a tough love approach, but I really wanted a softer approach, and I wanted to not only nurture that in myself, but I do feel like I have that ability to nurture, and inspire women better than I can men. So I wanted to play on that strength, and then later on, I may expand and teach men as well. But I think right now my calling is definitely to help other women, especially women who have either been in the position I am or are in a position that they're ready to go and they're tired of excuses and they really need somebody to come alongside them and help them.
So what do you think is the best part of being an entrepreneur as opposed to being an employee?
I love what I do every morning, and it is chaotic, it's exhausting, it's hard, it's frustrating, but I love it. I love what I do. I lay it, and it's not a negative thing, I lay awake at night on my bed,
Hmm.
not, I'm totally excited about getting up the next morning. I'm excited about getting my coffee and getting up the next morning and jumping on my computer and seeing what I can do next. I absolutely love it. Doing your own thing, especially if it's something you're passionate about and it fits you,
Hmm.
there's nothing like it. I would never, I remember the point where I came to, it's not quite a crossroads, but I came to the top of the mountain. And some people say that, at this point, there's no turning back. I remember when I got to that point, I said, I am not going to go work for anybody else again. I've reached the point of, you know what? I will scramble. I'll do whatever I have to do, legally and ethically, of course, but I'll do
Right.
whatever I have to do to work for myself. There is no way I'm going to go work for anybody else. I have reached
Right.
that, and I'll do whatever it takes. I am working hard to find ways to be able to continue to stay at home. There's nothing like it.
Right. I totally agree. Yeah. I mean, when I think back, the last time I had a job was in the 1970s.
Oh my God. You have definitely crossed that line.
Yeah, and I was in the music business, for 20 years, just writing songs and having a great time, and then I got on the internet. But I used to fear that I was going to end up being a bag lady because I just hated working for other people, and I thought there was something wrong with me. And what I
That's
didn't
my
understand,
thought.
yeah, what I didn't understand was just that I was a natural entrepreneur, but I was brought up in a family where that wasn't even in my consciousness. So it took a long time for me to figure out, oh, if you're creative and you want to do your own thing, you have to create that. And that's where I think, like you said, you can really, really help people.
Yes, I want to help people know that you really can do what you love. You really
Yeah,
can. I
you
mean, you may
can.
have to struggle in the beginning, and it may be really tough. And like you've got stories of struggle as well. You may really have to struggle, but if you want it, you will have it. Period.
I agree. So what is the main thrust of your business?
Again, you kind of touched on already. It's helping people become who they want to be, and that's actually my logo. I wanted something that represented transformation,
Hmm.
and it's a butterfly is my logo. It's coming from a place of excuses or I can't do it or the position of my life is put me where I am or circumstances or whatever it is. It's coming from that and having victory, becoming your own boss and doing what you want to do. So I think that is probably really the heart of what I do is that heart and mindset that really gets people beyond that because I know for me I went through a lot of training for years and years trying to retrain my brain to think that I could have more than what I had and it did take some time so I have been through that transition as well. So I know it can be done. It's a process, and if you have the right person to help you through it, and I'm not a match for everyone, but if you have that right person to take you through that, I mean, the sky's the limit. It's limitless. So that is the thrust of my business is
Well,
helping.
yeah, I totally agree. I think that one of the problems that people have is they try to do it on their own, and I don't know where they get this idea that they think they can do it on their own. I mean, I certainly didn't do it on my own. I spent thousands and thousands of dollars learning this stuff, but And I don't know anybody who's successful who didn't, and whether you go to a college or you go through the, non-traditional, working with experts, the bottom line is nobody does this alone.
Right.
And I think that the sooner people realize that, the sooner that they will reach out and get the help that they need to do whatever it is they want to do. And what I like to just say to people is, I mean, you have to invest in yourself. And the best advice that I can give you is just finding somebody who's doing, what resonates with you and is a model that makes sense for you and that you want to do. One of the problems that I see for so many people is they get online and they go to these internet experts, and the experts are internet marketers. They're not authors, per se. They're just interested in making money, and they don't have the passion that you have. They don't have the desire to help people, and so it's a different approach. It's a different approach. And I'm so glad that you found me and that you went through the 3-day and that you're where you are now. And I really want to wish you just tons of luck with your book and with the business.
Thank
So
you.
you're welcome. So let me ask you, is there a message in the ebook that you want readers to grasp?
I'm just going to say again, it's just really getting past your hang-ups, getting past yourself and, dealing with what you need to deal with to get the confidence and the assertion, the assertiveness that you need to get to that next step, to have what you want, and dream big. What do you want? You want a new house? That's pretty big. Do you want to go to Europe? That's big. But I'm talking big. I'm talking like, what do you want to leave your children? If you have children, what do you want to leave your children? What do you want to wake up and do every day? I know tons of people who go to work that hate what they do.
Right.
And they're miserable, and it affects your quality of life. It affects everyone around you. Again, part of the mindset that I had to get myself out of was, who set the rule that says you have to go to public school? I homeschool my kids also, by the way. You have to go to public school, you have to go to college, you have to get out and work for somebody else and climb the ladder. Who says that? Who set the rules for society to say that that's what you have to do? When I got past that, I realized, oh, I don't have to work for somebody else. When I got past that, it was freeing. And I saw all the possibilities and all the potential there was out there. There's so many opportunities out there. They're not running dry. And if you don't know it right now, that's why you may need a little bit of help finding that. There are opportunities out there that are perfect for you and you and you. This one is perfect for me, I believe. So it's just getting outside yourself and getting past your hang-ups.
Boy, I could not agree with you more.
We all have them. We all have them. It took me, literally, it took me a lot of seminars, listening to a lot of people to get past mine. I was completely hung up and in bondage and, just thought, this is it. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my 2 weeks a year. Next year I get 3 weeks a year. Woohoo, for vacation. Right. I mean, there's so many, and I bought into that. Oh, I got enough of my 401k. I can retire at 67, and I could, I was going to live that life, and I thought that was all there was, but it's not. And I grew up around entrepreneurs. It was just I wasn't nurtured as well as I thought I could have been, and I strayed and I did my own thing for years. But I think when you're nurtured and you're guided the correct way, your whole life is so different. Your viewpoint, just everything's so different.
Well, you said something right then that I think is really important. You said nurtured. You weren't nurtured enough. And I think that that's one of the things that women will really appreciate, is having that nurturing from you and the nurturing that they'll get from reading your book, and start to get on that path.
I agree. I really want people. It's my heart. I really hope everyone hears me. I know what people can do when they are freed. I know what people can do when they're freed. You can live, literally, you can wake up every morning, you can lay in bed at night, all night long, you can get no sleep, and be so excited about getting up the next day to do what you want to do. Oh, it's just, you can have it.
So, do you have anything specific that you want to say to your readers?
I just want to say, if you are, on the fence about starting your own business, or you have dreamed about starting your own business and you just don't know what, or you know exactly what you want to do and you wanted to do it since you were 13 years old or whatever, I've got help for you. I would love to help you. I'd love to work with you. I am. I really have. I do believe I have a lot to offer, and you know, knowledge, and I do. I really do care. I really do care about people, and I want to see them. I want to see women free. I want to see women become powerful, assertive, bossy women, and in a good way. And I really think that there's too many lies out there that we buy into, and I just want to free you from that, and help you bloom and blossom, and really, you know, like my butterfly, you know, just fly. And I just can't wait to help as many women as I can get there.
Well, that is really fantastic. It really is. I mean, and I'm, like I said, I'm so excited for your book. And if you know, if you're a woman who's in corporate America, you've been wanting to get out, or maybe you've never even thought about it that much until now, but you know, maybe you've got kids. I mean, you heard, you know, Jerry saying she even homeschools them. She's got 4 kids, and look at the energy that she's got because she's so excited about what she's doing, you know. So I want to encourage everybody to go pick up her book. And you want to tell us the name of the book again?
Bossy. 8 steps to take you from paycheck to prosperity with a home-based business, which is what I specialize in. You can have a business in anything. You can have a storefront or do whatever you want to. You know, at the time I wrote the book, I was really, really wanting to help people stay home, especially women, for whatever reason that may be, to stay home with your children or to, you know, care for your husband. It's not just for single women; it's for women in general. But anyway, you can do whatever you want to. You can have a small business of any type. But I do specialize in getting women home and doing a home-based business, especially if you have children or a husband and those types of things. It just gives you a lot more freedom. And then even more than that, an internet business, which allows you even more freedom to go where you want, to travel, because you can take your business with you. So
how can they get this book?
So it is going to be on Amazon. We are going to do a launch next week, and it will be available.
Okay, well, that depends on when people are seeing this. So
Okay.
we're talking about mid-October here, mid-October 2014.
Yes.
Yes.
So it'll be around the actually dead center of October. Yes, between the 13th and 15th, around there.
Okay, and so then can they find the link that'll be on the page that?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
great.
I will paste the link.
So people should scroll down and they can find the book.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, so that's it, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ellen.
You're welcome. Enjoy the book and check out Jerry. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.